My name is Skylar Hack, and this is my informative speech for CIS 111 of the A-10 Thunderbolt 2. They say the A-10 doesn't fly, it just stares down gravity until it runs away, sobbing. The A-10 Thunderbolt 2 is a fearsome and intimidating aircraft with a massive arsenal of varying ordnances, which that's just another word for weapon, and it's got all that at its disposal. It has been an essential component of the Air Force's mission for decades and has been responsible for the success of many operations ever since the beginning of its use in 1979. Not many people outside of the armed forces truly understand how it is used and what it even really is. I will give information about this highly used aircraft. This evening, I will present information about the specifications of the A-10, how it is implemented in the battlefield, and a little bit of its history. So, I'll begin with the information and specifications of the aircraft itself. There's a legend saying that one of the creators of the A-10 initially saw the massive GAU 8A 30mm Gatling gun and thought to himself, you know, all of these engineers are building weapons for airplanes, but we have this big gun right here. Why don't we build an airplane as an accessory to the gun? And that's exactly what they did. And thus, the A-10 was born. Now I'm going to start off, talking about the previously mentioned GAU 8A Gatling gun. This thing is the primary weapon of this aircraft. It shoots a 30mm round the size of my forearm. It can fire up to 3,900 rounds per minute. That's over 60 rounds per second. The pilot has to actually be careful when firing this, especially at low speeds, because of its massive recoil could cause it to stall. The aircraft also supports 11 total pylon stations, 4 on each wing, 3 on the fuselage, that can hold up to 16,000 pounds of mixed ordnance. That's cluster bombs, smart bombs, air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles, and mine-dispensing munitions. And it can hold even more than that. That's just naming a few. The twin jet engines it has are capable of producing a combined 18,000 pounds of thrust, which allows the airplane to fly at a safe top speed at about 518 miles per hour. I say safe because it can fly faster than that, but it might fall apart. You got to be careful with that, going that fast. You can find more information about the details of the aircraft's hardware and systems at www.military.com. Just type A-10 in the search bar, it'll be the first thing that comes up. So now that you understand what the A-10 is capable of, I will now explain how these capabilities are used on the battlefield. The A-10's primary missions are normally close air support and anti-tank. It's been affectionately given the nickname Warthog by ground troops it supports for its intimidating silhouette, as well as its low growling sound and the grunt of that GAU 8A cannon that I told you about. It is able to effectively defend and support ground troops for its ability to maneuver well and fly at low speeds and altitude. It is able to loiter near ground troops and still perform well in low visibility situations. Its wide variety of ordnances also allow it to be used effectively in many different environments, such as desert, forest, and even urban environments. The A-10 is very effective against tanks. With the help of armor-piercing rounds, its GAU 8A Gatling gun can pierce through tanks like a knife through butter. It is also proven to be a very durable aircraft, able to withstand direct impacts from surface-to-air missiles, or SAMs. It has also been known to stay in the air with only one working engine. Due to the combination of this effectiveness, versatility, and durability, the very sight and sound of the A-10 has been known to boost morale for grunts on the ground. This weapon system hasn't been around forever, though. Now that you know how it is used on the battlefield, I will now present some of the history of the A-10. It did not become an effective weapon system that it is today overnight. Years of upgrades and use of the aircraft in many operations have given it the reputation that it has today. In March of 1976, proposals went out to 21 companies asking them to create a low-cost attack aircraft that could provide good close air support. The company Fairchild Republic designed the first prototype of the A-10 and won the contract from the United States Air Force in 1973. The first A-10s built for war were assigned to a squadron in October of 1977. From between 1972 and 1984, Fairchild built over 700 of these A-10s. Over the years, it has been used in many operations, especially having the biggest impact on Operation Desert Storm. During Operation Desert Storm, it eliminated nearly 1,000 tanks, 249 command vehicles, 112 military structures, 96 radars, and 28 command posts, just to name a few. According to Iraqi POWs, the most recognizable and feared aircraft at low altitude was the A-10. Desert Storm has been a huge part of what's given it its reputation. It's also been through many other operations, including Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, and many more. Within this speech, I presented the specifications of the A-10 Thunderbolt II, as well as explained how it is used on the battlefield and discussed its history. So now that you all have an understanding of this weapon system, which many of you might not have known existed, I would like to end it with a quote from my uncle and how he described the A-10 during his combat tours in Iraq. If you can hear the grunt of that GAU cannon, that just means it wasn't aiming for you. Thank you.